Hello everyone, welcome to my video blogs. I just did a quick video blog of a heating system that I've set up in my room. Just show you a video. Room. This is my sort of little den that I've got set up, and it gets quite cold out here sometimes during the winter times. So I wanted a heating out here run on my central heating, but I didn't want to be having the whole house on. I didn't want individual thermostats and cables running from here to my boiler because it's a lot of running of cables. So I've set up a system using a Raspberry Pi, a bit like the Hive system. So I thought I'd just do a demonstration of how it works. Just a quick look over it here. This is my radiator that I've got plumbed in, and down the floor you can see I've got a zone valve that controls that radiator. And so over here, it's only a small setup at the moment. I've got a Raspberry Pi which is connected to the internet. My voltage supply to the valve, which is being controlled by this relay over here. And in the valve is a zone valve, so it has a micro switch inside. So whenever the zone valve is powered and it's fully over to the open position, two cables then come back from the zone valve to the Raspberry Pi to tell it that we're demanding heat. And on the breadboard I have the Dallas thermostat, so it's just reading the thermostat of the room. So that's the basic wiring setup. It is a bit of a mess at the moment. It's just prototype. I'll be putting this in a box soon. Box I've already got to put it over in the wall and have it set up. So on the screen up here, you can see that I've got my dad's den because this is my place. And you can see I've got my temperature set, temperature control for the Raspberry Pi. This is a HDMI, it's PHP HDMI sort of setup. I'll be putting all this on my website to show you the coding for it. At the moment you can see the room temperature is 19. I'll just bring the camera up as well, put it in the bottom corner. So the temperature is 19 in the room, and if I now touch the temperature probe, which I'm touching the camera, my hands are cold, you can see the temperature's going up. It's 20 degrees, gone pink because it's the same temperature that I've set the room to, and it should now go red. I don't know if you saw the relay click because it's now the room's hot, so it's turned the valve off and the central heating off. So to control, you can see the temperature now. I've let go of the thermostat, so the temperature's dropping there. It goes pink to show that it's the same as the temperature here, which is I've set the room to. And over time that should drop a bit because it's getting colder out here. It should go blue and then turn the valve on. It goes blue. If you notice in the corner, my relays come on to turn the valve on, the central heating. And the valve should turn on there and tell the Raspberry Pi that we're demanding heat. I have a slider control here to set the temperature of the room that I want it to. So if I bring that down, it's turned the central heating off now because I've set it to 17, the room, and the room's actually 19. And if I bring it up, I've set the room now to 22. The room's at 19, so it's gone blue and the central heating's turned on. And I also have a on-off switch, so I can turn the heating off or turn it on again. Now if I minimise this, bring it up the camera alongside, it is controlled, set up so that the page adjusts to the size of the window, the website window. So on a mobile phone and stuff, it'll go smaller. So you can see over here in the video the relays off on at the moment because I'm demanding heat. I'm demanding 22 degrees in the room. The temperature in the room is 19, and I've got the switches on. If I now switch that to the off, you can see my relay's gone off. I don't know whether you can hear that noise, but that's the motor clicking, turning over, and in Raspberry Pi I've never been told that I'm not demanding for the heat. And like I say, I'll be putting the code on my website, but the basic part of all this is up to date in a PHP or a MySQL database on this Raspberry Pi here, and it's telling the Raspberry Pi the temperature of the room, the temperature I've set it to, and whether I want it on or off by this button. And then from a Python script, the Python script then decides whether we're going to be turning this relay on or off, depending on the temperature settings I've set on the website. If it turns it on, like I said earlier, the micro switch, when the valve's open, will come back to one of the GPIO inputs on the Raspberry Pi, and the Python script will pick up that input to become on, and then this will send it by the Ethernet cable, because this is connected to my network of the house. It'll send it to another Raspberry Pi that's controlling my actual boiler. It's sitting beside my boiler, and this Raspberry Pi will tell that Raspberry Pi's database that we're demanding heat, and that will turn the boiler on. So the boiler and the house will only come on if this Raspberry Pi gets an input from the zone valve to say that we need heating. So it's exactly the same as a thermostat would work. The boiler won't come on if the zone valve is closed, so there's no possibility of the boiler turning on and having heat pumping with no radiators open for the heat to go into. So it works exactly the same. It's just that I haven't got to run cables from this room to my boiler. It's purely done by a network system, and it works similar to what the Hive system works. When I've got it all this connected up on the wall and running right, I'll do another little quick video showing you it working. I've got a log in and log out because this is easy to get into otherwise from outside. I can control this from anywhere outside of my network because I've port forwarded it all. So if I log out, it's got a PHP login session, which I'll put on my blog, and I set that up as well. And for interested, my other Raspberry Pi, which I'll bring up the address for, it's an internal address for this. The other Raspberry Pi is running this website. This is controlling my water on the house as well, because the Pi's control the water systems. You can see my water temperature is at 53 for the house. I have a solar panel on the roof, which the water solar panel is controlled by the Raspberry Pi connected to my boiler, which is at 19 degrees. If that temperature goes up high, then it will turn on a water pump intermittently to pump the hot water into my actual cylinder. I've got a ray burn on the house, which is connected up to the hot water system of the house. And you can see that's at 50 because my ray burn's on today, and that feeds into my water system by gravity like a ray burn would normally feed. I'm just getting the temperature on here, and I've got the temperature 19 degrees. That's the temperature upstairs in the landing. I'll just take that. It doesn't do nothing. It just gives me the house at temperature. I've also got an alarm system set up for my little room, which is on here. I can show you that. I'm not worried about the password because I don't use it that much, but it's 828, and if I put that in, you can see it's gone to blue to say that room's armed, and then it goes red to alarm because my door switch in the room is actually open. So it's now saying that the alarm's gone off in the room. And to reset that, I'll reset it. If you're ever interested in any of these programming bits, I only muck around with it. I'm not an expert in programming, but I will be updating my website with some of this code, how I built it. This again is for this page, should be I've forgotten what it's called, but it minimises as I minimise the page. Responsive site, I think it's called. So if I minimise it, you can see it's all gone in a straight line. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching the blog. I'll update some more if you're interested, and I'll be putting some of the code up, and I'll be probably demonstrating on how I did some of the stuff.